Calling calling the meeting to order. Hubbardson Economic Development Committee, May 19th, 6:34 p.m. Monet will read Governor Baker's open meeting law and we will resume the meeting.
All right, so pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GL Chapter 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Hubbardson Economic Development Committee will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with a right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town website. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via Zoom. In the event that we are unable to do so despite best efforts, we will post on the town's website a comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting.
Thank you. Okay. So can we approve the minutes of the previous meeting, please? We okay with them?
Yeah, I gave you a second.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear any of that. Okay, I apologize. Okay, and review the agenda, this month's agenda. Okay. You ready to start?
Yes.
Okay. Old business. Let's start with our EDC meetings. We were going to determine whether we were going to pursue these in person. I think that everybody was in agreement of doing that. I did attended 2 Lions meetings in the past month, and our most recent one was a hybrid. It seemed to work out nicely. The computer was set on the corner of the table where the officers sit. Of course, the other attendees were not visible, but it seemed to work fine. We had, maybe a dozen people in person and maybe 5 or 6 that were, came in via Zoom. So where do we want to move forward with this? We want to, we're going to obviously keep them as a hybrid, and have we made any decisions about anything beyond that?
Well, I mean, I'll start. I mean, I'm all about going person to person, but I don't know how you all feel about that.
Okay.
I'm completely comfortable.
I'm comfortable with in-person meetings. That's fine at this point, I think.
Okay. So I don't know that there's, any, necessity for looking at other meetings, how they're working and that kind of thing. If we feel comfortable with it, and we can, I could talk with the offices about making arrangements for it, to be Zoomed as well. We'll make a decision outside versus inside in the, coming days, let's say. And we'll go from there. And so I don't know. I'm not sure actually if this is something that we need to take a vote on, or if this is just something that we just kind of segue into. Katie, do you happen to know the answer to that?
Yeah, the selectmen, we didn't vote on it, segued into it. We've been doing in-persons. We've already had 2. We have another one tomorrow, and then again on Monday. So we are doing in-person with Zoom being an option for the public.
Yeah.
That's go away very shortly though, because because the mandates are changing, and don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty positive we're gonna do away, at least for the Zoom option's gonna go in person completely.
Okay.
But again, don't quote me, because nothing's been set in stone yet. So you know how this goes.
Right,
Yeah, and I wonder even to what degree, the governor's order to be able to do, everything virtually that's allowed for that, if the state of emergency is being dropped by the 15th of June, does that order no longer exist to even allow the virtual meetings?
right,
Yeah,
right.
because that,
Well,
go ahead. Sorry. No, you go.
Well, I was gonna say, you have meetings more regularly than we do, so we have a month to see what the governor does do. And we'll just make a determination as the weeks go on. See if there's any change with that. If it's not necessary, then we'll just go ahead with, how we always did them. And if we have to make provision, we will. We've got the opportunity. We've afforded that opportunity to see how it pans out over the next couple of weeks.
Excellent.
Sounds good.
Okay. Terrific. All right. Same date, same time. Everybody okay with Wednesdays, the third Wednesday of the month, 6:30 p.m.?
Excellent.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Let me go to this a minute. Okay. So we're going to talk about the project updates from the members. We'll start with the tours. David, I spoke to David about joining us for the tours, and he said he'd like to do that. It seems that he has 2 days a week from what that are available. I had polled a couple of folks, and it looks like Thursdays might be a suitable day. Is everybody in agreement with that? Because these tours will be on a rotating basis. Denise will be participating and attending each one of the tours because she'll be doing video of them. And I'll be attending them. And other than that, we'll have somebody rotated in. So I just want to make sure that everybody is okay with those Thursdays. Katie, you're on the first tour, so Thursday is okay with you?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing is I so it doesn't matter. It's
Say that again.
the one and not create a quorum.
Right. But you're on the next tour. So and right now it looks like Thursdays are working for everybody. Monet, does that work for you, Thursdays?
Yeah, Thursdays are fine with me for the most part. I have a couple times that I won't be around.
Okay,
'Cause I'm
sure.
going out of town, but depending on when it is, Thursdays are usually fine because all the kids are in school or daycare or whatnot.
Okay.
So
Okay. And I think I spoke with Peter. Thursdays is fine. Denise, I know Thursdays are fine with you. Taryn, same thing.
Yeah, as long as I'm in town, then Thursdays are good.
Okay. And again, that's the benefit of having people rotate in. If somebody can't come, somebody else can slip in. If not, we went out just 3 of us at a time with Ryan. So, that'll be fine. Okay. Let's see. Okay. And so I think for the first tour, we were talking about late May, early June. Let's see what happens over the next couple of weeks with the governor's lifting of everything, okay, and the mandates and all that. And I think that if we could get it early enough in June, but after he, declares his biz, that'll be great. And I think because we do have to be in the room together, right? In one space, and the places that I've gone to in town, they really are keeping people just kind of one at a time, enter this way and that kind of thing. So if we can maybe schedule that first one for perhaps the second week, the second Thursday in June, would that be suitable? I think Katie, Peter, who else is coming on the first one?
Denise?
Denise and myself, yeah. Is that okay? I can tell you what that.
Second Thursday in June, you said?
Yeah, I'm thinking of that, the second Thursday.
I'm wide open.
Okay,
I got a lot going on. I just gotta check my calendar, that's all.
sure.
I got
Okay.
fishing trips coming up. I got golf stuff coming up.
Oh, I get
Whitney,
it.
I'm actually not gonna be here that Thursday, the 10th. We have a boating trip for my father-in-law's 75th birthday. So,
Okay,
but I mean, you
Then-
guys can always go without me. I mean, don't let me hold you up. I just won't make that one. Actually, I won't make the 24th either because I'm going to be in Florida that week. So,
okay,
oops.
well, um, that leaves the 3rd or the 17th, if we want to change that date. And I do think that having that video, if that's going to be part of these tours, I'd like, as we're resuming them, I'd like all of them to be included, to have video included. So I would like you to be with us.
I've got the 3rd and the 17th are open. So,
Okay, anybody have a preference to the 3rd or the 17th? I would say the 17th. And then that would also give the stores a little more time. I did speak with each one of them about definitely within the past 2 weeks, I've spoken with both a time and a place as well as Jane. And, they feel pretty ready. I said it would be a few weeks and they were excited about that. So I feel like, if we did it on the 17th, that gives them even more time for inventory and that kind of thing. So how about the 17th? Okay.
Excellent.
Terrific. Okay. Any comments about anything so far? Okay. The other projects, okay, was venues, the venue bylaw. And we have, hit a little bit of a roadblock or some pushback. And I am asking for a meeting for some clarification. And once I get that clarification, we will be able to move forward with that. For right now, the project is getting that clarification, if you will. The Delta grant, of course, we've been approved for the Delta grant. I sent an email to David on April 13th, asking him to coordinate a meeting for myself, David, as well as Katie with John Hume. And didn't hear back from him, so I sent him a reminder on May 5th to please, look into getting that meeting done, and I'm still waiting to get a date for that. But we have been approved for the grant, and we're just waiting to, to have a meeting with the person who'll be helping us with the technical assistance. And I'm going to hold off on Denise because she has a lot to say in a couple of minutes. So we're going to go over to Peter with the update for the small business guide.
Yeah, so I spoke to Mallory, and she did send out the emails back, I forget the dates,
November
On a-
10th.
November 10th, 11/10, yeah. And
Yeah.
and
Remember
she
it well.
we never heard from anybody, so she sent the emails out again to the 2 departments that did not respond prior in November.
Yep.
And I'm not sure if you've heard from them, but probably not. And
I'm not.
and I say, if they don't have the courtesy to respond to each separate emails, I say move forward without them.
Well,
That's my thought.
I understand. I understand your frustration, but if we move forward without them, then we're shorting our potential business owners from not having the information that they really should get, and what the purpose
What's
of
our
the
next
guide
step then?
is.
If they don't, what's the next step if they don't return the second email? Go bang in their doors? I don't have no problem doing that.
We've got to sick someone on them. Yeah, we might have to do that. And I get, yeah, there you go. Touche. Let's go ahead and do that. I think you sent that out to Mallory. When was that?
Yeah, I spoke to her on the phone.
Yeah.
Let me check my calendar. That's why I have a calendar, because I can't remember shit. Oops, pardon my language. So today is what, the 19th? So
Yeah.
I spoke to Mallory 2 weeks ago yesterday, so on the 4th.
Oh,
May
boy.
4th, I spoke to Mallory and she resent the emails out.
Yeah,
Yikes.
I would almost wonder, should we ask, whether it's Mallory or Lori or whoever, is is like the coordinator for those departments, if we can get on their next agenda to be able to, in person, be part of their meeting and, ask some of the questions and get some of the clarification that we need if they're not responding to the emails.
Well, that's a good idea. However, I'm not sure of the questions that need to be answered if I don't know what they're asked, if I don't know what their department does. You see what I mean? It's hard for me to ask a
Well,
question.
maybe that's the question is just, with
Right.
he's putting a small business guide together. We need to get some clarification on what your department does. What's the pertinent information for us to
Right.
put into this small business guide? We haven't gotten any responses to our emails. So, we're coming in person to basically ask you to give us a description of what you do that we can put into the guide.
Okay. Any thoughts from anybody?
Yeah, when is the town going back to normal? Are they still in limbo? Are they still not taking, you still gotta call, make appointments and stuff like that?
It's still, yeah, it is still by appointment. Even Lori's outgoing message today, when you call town offices, it says that these offices are still only, by appointment only. I know that, some folks are, are in and out of the office.
What's
You can
that,
go to
Katie?
the door and ring the doorbell. She will let you
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. I think that I would like to approach this by going and visiting them in person if possible, or making an appointment with them,
Yeah,
and, first, and seeing if we can't just, glean that information there, give them, maybe a week's time, from that visit, to tell them, put that in some kind of writing, in some kind of text. And, and I have access to the PDF file, so it's easy just to, paste it on in, no problem. But, if we go maybe sometime this coming week, Peter, that would be great. And then, because really, we really wanted this out for spring, it's just, yeah, I really want to, make this happen. I sent them that back in November. That's, 6 months now.
yeah.
Um,
Why don't we set something up for, next week? And
Yeah,
we'll
I
go
know
bang
that
some doors.
Roland does inspections on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which makes me think that perhaps Mallory might be in the office on those days.
Okay.
Yeah, because, she might have to field phone calls or whatever. So I'll call on Monday, but Peter, let's make a plan for either Tuesday or Thursday to go in and speak with someone from the Board of Health and someone from, buildings, and that would probably end up being Mallory anyhow. But
Right,
yeah, let's get that on our plan.
Yeah, that doesn't work Tuesday or Thursday, I'm booked.
Okay, Katie, do you know of either one of those offices being, having someone, a staff member on any other day of the week other than Tuesday or Thursday?
Mallory is there during the day. They're
Every
tomorrow-
day?
Yeah, usually 8 to 3. I'm pretty sure she's taking next Wednesday and Thursday off. I remember her saying that she had a couple vacation days, but I know she was there today. She'll be there tomorrow. So you just go and ring the doorbell. Lori will let you in.
Okay, and what about Christina over for Board of Health?
I hate to tell you, you're trying to talk to Mallory, not Christina. Christina doesn't even work for the town anymore.
I mean, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. Not Christina. Sab. Kate. Sab.
Kate Saab,
Kate Saab. I'm sorry.
he's the chair of the Board of Health, but Mallory's the
Right.
ad. So either way,
Right.
you're talking to Mallory. That Mallory is the only one in the office for the Board of Health and the building department. She's land use, all that, all tied into one. So you're gonna
Okay.
just Mallory.
So we can bang it out in one shot then.
Okay. Well, Peter, we have an option then. Do you want to go tomorrow? Do you want to meet me
Excellent.
there tomorrow? What?
You tell me what time, I'll be there tomorrow.
Okay, hold on, 8:30, 10:30, how about 11 o'clock?
11 a.m. tomorrow, Town Hall, yep.
Okay. Okay, super duper.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
near the library. There's a doorbell, you can ring it. Lori will.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And then the welcome signs. The welcome signs. So Monet, you were not at our last meeting to volunteer for one of the other projects. So
I know, I saw my name on the minutes and I was like, oh.
yeah. But listen, not
I'm
you know,
not
not so bad. I'll be there with you for sure. I would like to, because of that we're asking for a price of either 1,500 or 2,500. I feel at this point, and I did send an email with flyers out to everybody last year at some point, pre-COVID actually, and then we kind of rested it because of the pandemic. And so because of that, it's not a couple of $100. I feel that a phone call or an in-person visit is probably suitable at this point. There are probably a dozen. I have been given information from a couple of people in town about a couple of businesses that they think might fit the bill, so to speak, and so we can narrow it down. I also thought via your business, you do have an understanding about finances and that kind of thing, and maybe to be able to talk to people about this being an investment more than an expense, so to speak. Would be great. So if I don't know when your tax season, I know, has been perhaps extended a little bit as well. Am I correct?
Well, it's officially over.
Okay, good.
It was on the
Congrats.
17th, it was.
Okay,
So during the week before the kids are out of school, I'm available. I would say the best days are either Tuesday, Thursday, or Fridays for me to do anything, because they're all in school for most of the day. So I can kind of pull away a little bit. I don't know if you're available any of those days. I'd be more than happy to go around, and yeah, I can knock on doors and ask for money. I'm pretty good at that.
Okay, so you're saying between now and the end of the school year, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays work for you?
Are the best
Okay.
days. After the school year, Wednesdays are typically good for me because Phil works here in town on Wednesdays typically. So then
Okay.
if I need to shuffle anybody, then I at least have some help there. So, but before,
Okay. Well,
until, a couple weeks into June there, I'll be free on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
oh, not Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
I had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm sorry, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. And then what I'll do over the next couple of days is I'll send you a list of, maybe let's say a dozen or half a dozen that we can start with, via phone call, even see if they want to meet in person to discuss. You could take a couple, I'll take a couple, or we'll work out a system. Terrific. Thank you. That's great.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay. Any questions or comments? Yeah, sure.
Now, what about that previous woman that was interested in one down on 62? Is she still all for that sign, or?
Yep. As far as I know, absolutely. Yep. And so,
Okay.
I mean, we're going to include, and we should include that in any, further, literature or whatever, that spot is taken. I think that generates a little bit of interest from people. But
When
yeah,
is 62 opening up? Does anybody know?
I don't know that.
I heard a year, like within the year, but
Within, okay.
Okay.
I don't know. That's hearsay.
All right.
So I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I hope it's soon.
Yeah, because I mean, there's no sense in going after her because the road's closed anyway, so. Or
Yeah, but-
whereabouts was the sign going for that
Yeah,
one?
that's what I was going to say. The positioning of that sign.
Well, it's
was right
62
after
and
the-
68. Is it? It's the one that's already there, right? That you're
Right.
referencing, or is it
No.
another one that's going?
It's the Barry one. It's the one coming. I mean,
Oh, coming from Barry.
correct. Yeah. Yep.
Down by
And
like
when I-
Berry Falls, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But when
so
I
right
discussed it,
after- right after the town sign, it says entering Hubbardston,
Oh,
somewhere in
Right.
that vicinity. Okay. All right,
Yeah,
you're-
and she
my
was
my
fine, she
mistake,
was
sorry.
fine with that. I talked with Katie and with Ryan about the exact position of that sign
Mhm.
and where it would be. And when I, got back to her and let her know, she was perfectly fine with it.
We lost you.
Okay, I said that I had spoken with both Katie and Ryan about, where that sign was as opposed to, or where it would be as opposed to where the construction was. And then when I, got back to her to give her that information, she was perfectly fine with it.
All right,
Awesome.
I was just curious.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay. Let me look at something, just a moment.
I did look into that that visitma.com website that Whitney had sent out to us last week. Or
Katie?
last meeting. Yeah, that Katie
Yeah.
had. Sorry, I'm tired. I haven't had enough coffee today. And businesses can go on and register on that if they want to. It's actually a pretty good website. Unfortunately, they can't do like a Quabbin region that they would give to like just Quabbin area, because I guess the regions that are listed on the site are like they're specified by the state, and so it would have to be like approved by the state to create another region. But once you go in, you can have outdoor stuff, history, arts and entertainment, shopping, sports, or food and drink register on the site. Once people are like, oh, I want to go visit Hubbardston, then you can see everything that's happening in Hubbardston at that point.
Right.
We would still be part of the like central Massachusetts district or region on that site. But it was a very simple process to go on and sign up as a business and then get stuff posted. Their web person was super responsive. When I emailed and called, they were pretty easy to work with. So.
And is this, Taryn, is this something that this would have to be updated daily?
No, it's just a one time, you can post it, you can post deals, you can post, or you can just post your business one time and say, here's what we do. Here's, a sporting
I
thing.
see.
Here's here's a
Okay.
place to stop for food and drink if you're traveling through Hubbardston, or
I see.
here's, an outdoor, whatever. I mean, you could put the farmer's market, on there or whatever else,
Sure,
it's just another place to promote, but kind of had more of
Okay.
that look and feel of what we were originally going for with Quabbin Country, if I understand correctly. Although unfortunately we can't do a Quabbin region on that site. So
Well, I mean, yeah, okay. And that is unfortunate, but I think that we came to an agreement a while back that, although, there are, the 5 towns involved, we've tried our best to get the other towns involved with us. And if we're not getting any feedback from them or any participation, we need to move ahead with Hubbardston. So if we have to niche Hubbardston on it, then we'll do that. And maybe the other towns, as there's some momentum with it, we could share it with the other towns. Maybe that would give them some incentive to work with us and feature things as well. But we haven't gotten anything from them, so we need to move ahead with Hubbardston. So I love that idea. I think it's great.
and we could potentially take each of those sections, sports, food and drink, outdoor, whatever. We could have, you can hone in just on Hubbardston for each of those for any businesses that are listed.
Right.
So we
Right.
could look at that from the Hubbardston town website if we wanted to, and say, sports in Hubbardston, just link over to the sports section. Food and drink in Hubbardston, link over to the food and drink section, and then you can still
Right.
have, the nice, format of it all. And, businesses could individually update their own pages and everything, if that's something that we wanted to pursue. Obviously,
Yeah.
we would want to get the businesses to fill all of those sections in,
Sure.
at least so that there's something populating that, versus right now, I think there's only, 2 or 3 businesses listed in Hubbardston on that site. But
Okay, well, if we put it in the hands of Denise to put it on the Facebook page and get that out, it'll be out there and then before we start dreaming in bed. So that's terrific. I love that. That's great. And again, I'm hopeful that with this platform, if we, there is some momentum and it gets filled up, we start sharing it or contacting some of the other towns, Barry, and and perhaps they they'd want to just be more involved in what we're doing, and we can, bring these 5 Quabbin country together
Yeah.
in future promotion. Okay, terrific. Any comments from anybody? I love that idea. That's great. Okay. Okay. All right. So, new business. So, recently, there was a post on the EDC Facebook page, which was shared. And when it was shared incorrectly, and it referred to the Hubbardston Farmers Market on the EDC website page. And so I contacted the person who had posted that, or who had, posted the misinformation, and just asked her, explained to her and told her it's a, separate website and whatnot. And she's very nice. She said, sure, I'll do that right away. And then at the bottom of the email, she said, well, now at least I found out what EDC means, which was like a punch to the gut. Just like, so clearly we, and this could be a fun project. I mean, we need to work on ways to get the EDC to be more visible. And I don't know if that would be something that we did visually, by color, by font, I don't know, or whatever, but I think that that's something that needs to happen. And honestly, the only reason that I believe that she even knew was because when I signed off, even though I know her, I signed off with, Whitney Freiberg, Chair, Hubbardston Economic Development Committee. I honestly think if I didn't sign off that way, she still wouldn't know what the EDC means. So I'm just going to ask everybody, to give a little bit of thought to ways that we can, become more visible and more recognizable, or, could call it branding if we were in a commercial business, right? But, something like that. So yeah, if anybody has any thoughts right now or any suggestions about anything, yeah, raise your hand. Sure. Go ahead.
Can we set up a booth, or at least have something that we can do at the field day?
Well, that is on the agenda next.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting ahead of you.
That's okay. Thanks for reading that agenda.
I kept glancing at it. I'm on a different computer. I only have one screen tonight, so.
Yeah, and I would like volunteers for that. But if, and I mean, I'm not, I don't think expecting anyone to come up with a great idea now, but if you have ideas of way to generate some ideas, let's share them or talk about,
I have
Well, on the Facebook, could we do like a little thing like, what is the EDC? Do you know what I mean? And like put like a little thing together for that. That might, I don't know. Just throwing any idea.
Absolutely. I mean, all of it is doable. I mean, should we make a logo? Should we have colors that are associated with it? I don't know what they would be, like maybe the color of a non-such apple. I don't know. But I think, there's a lot of ways that we can do it. I just like to get creative and make it, attractive and, something that, people will want to look at and read. So, Denise is probably got her cap going right now, but, let's just do that.
We could, I forget the name of there's a website that, you can have them make logos and stuff for it. Fiverr, I think it is, and it's really inexpensive. So if we thought about, like I had changed the cover of our Facebook page for the EDC just to actually put the words Economic Development Committee on there after you had shared that with me, Whitney, that people don't even know what the acronym means.
Yeah.
But we could take it a step further, and we could even think of, I don't know, like how we would want to kind of brand ourselves with maybe some sort of pictures or something, so that then we could have Fiverr make some sort of logo, and maybe within that logo some of the things that we're really known for around here. Goats, apples.
Yeah.
Can we do a picture of Katie's face?
Katie.
That's a good one. With like a thumbs up or something.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Peter's got his hand raised.
So, can you guys hear me?
Little
Yes,
bit. Very
little
quiet.
bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Mhm. That's
Okay.
better.
Now, on the Facebook page, actually, I haven't even been on it because I don't even go on Facebook. We're listed as the EDC. Are we listed as names only? Or are we not even listed on the Facebook page by name?
Are the members?
Yes.
No, we're not listed. Maybe, and that's something that maybe we should do. Maybe we should have like a
Yes,
little bit of a
and-
master.
I say we have a group photo of our board on our Facebook page. So people can put maybe a face to the name instead of just having names, and you know what I mean? You cross them in the street, they don't even know who you are. But if they cross you and see your face and say,
Yeah,
oh,
sometimes it's better,
he's on
sometimes it's better to
EDC.
cross the street and them not know who you are.
Facebook page
Yeah.
just so people know, you know.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, we can
it
do that.
should, I think it should have a picture of the Economic Development Committee members on the Facebook page. That's just my thought. I don't know.
Could
Maybe
we
we
do
could
like
get
a
Meg to
meet
take
the
one.
EDC and like do like every week, like highlight another person or something? That might be good just to generate more buzz on the Facebook.
Yeah, you could
That's
do the
an
If you're gonna
interesting,
need it.
background and stuff like that, like a little blurb about each
Yeah.
person, where they
Yeah.
come from, strengths are.
Right,
Yeah,
and like
that's a
what
cool
they
idea.
bring to the table and might make people understand like what it's about a little bit more. I don't know. Or even just to generate more things on the Facebook page that people would click on it and be like, oh, what's that? You know?
Yep. Yeah, I like that idea too, Denise. Maybe we ask Meg if she can come to our next meeting or something and just do a couple pictures for us or something.
okay. Let's look into all of that. I like it. How
Meg
big-
might
how-
not, I mean, if only if we're gonna, she's really busy. Meg is like a busy lady. So it might be hard to pinpoint her for something, to be honest. I mean, I'm
Oh,
on
I'm-
That's
PTO
totally fine.
and
I got an iPhone, we could do a selfie, it's fine.
that's what I was
Exactly.
thinking. Like that's exactly what I was thinking. Is that
I
we
was more
probably-
I was more just thinking we could do, you know, photo credit, you know, tiny toes and little bows or
Oh.
something, you know, on each of the, you know, if we wanted to give her some PR from it, maybe.
That's
We
not
get
a bad
far.
idea. I hadn't thought about that. She might bite at that, but she's a very busy gal. So
We
I
can
don't
tell
know.
her that we'll all go outside, sit on the little swinging chair. We'll be like, we'll be out here Monday night, 6 o'clock, just come snap a photo. That's it.
it'll take 2 seconds. Yeah.
2 seconds.
Right. Right. All right, let's move forward with that. I like that. I do think also that, you know, I like the idea of maybe thinking about colors to associate us with, or some kind of, you know, logo. I think is, you know, would benefit us as well. And also as, yeah, because that can, you know, just be long-term, regardless of who's on the committee. And by the way, that's something I don't want to forget to talk about. All right, so let's move forward with that. Any other suggestions or ideas? And we got a little bit of time to come up with more.
I really like the banner
Nothing
on the
more?
Facebook right now that you did. That looks really nice. I'm looking at it now with the little plant and that's cute. I like that.
Yeah. The Facebook, it looks terrific, Denise. You know that. I mean, it does.
does. Looks
It
really
really,
good.
it looks great. I love it. I enjoy looking at it at this point. I really do. I really enjoy, you know, opening it up and looking at it. Okay, so so I think that we covered okay, well, we'll just jump over because I'm going to have Denise speak for a couple of minutes. We did talk about resuming the business tours, okay, and what day we're going to do it. I think that perhaps maybe we should try and do this maybe every 2 weeks rather than once a month. I think that every 2 weeks would be better, just because we've got more information to put on the Facebook page. And if we really delve into it, there are a number of businesses. If we're just doing them once a month, we're not going to cover much territory in a good amount of time. So what does anyone think about increasing them? They were just monthly. What does anyone think about increasing them to twice a month? Okay. Thumbs up from Taryn. Peter? Thumbs up. Denise, thumbs up. Monet. Okay, there we go. All right, let's do that. Twice a month. Volunteers for the town fair. We talked about that. Darren mentioned something about that. That's on the agenda. Can I get a volunteer? I'd like to, Katie
I'm
has
more than
offered
happy to
us.
go down there. I
Okay.
love the little
Can you-
fair. Sorry, was that loud?
Oh. No, that's all right. You're enthusiastic. We love it. I think that maybe, well, I'm just going to ask everybody, do we want to have a table? Do we want to talk to visit the tables, the vendors themselves, or do we want to do both?
I think a mix of both might be good. If you have like enough volunteers to go down, then the one person that was
Okay.
manning the booth and then another person that could kind of schmooze other
Okay.
people and figure that out. That might be the
Okay.
best way to do it.
Yeah, I think a mix of both is good as well, because the people that are coming are, let's call them shoppers or customers, as opposed to the vendors or the businesses. I think that both streams of people need to know a little bit more about us.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to get people to understand what EDC stands for, right? Standing at a table with a big old sign that says Economic Development Committee might start cluing people in. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
like
might
that.
just walk right by because they're like, oh, that might be off. Well, if you give out lollipops, the kids will come over and then you might get a parent's here.
if you have something dirt cheap you can give away, like a little, like a lollipop or a keychain or something. I still have 250th buttons if you want to give those damn things away. I have those. I'll give them to you. They're all yours. But yeah, it's, you know what I mean? Like something to draw people in, maybe a raffle would be great. And then you can get them to fill out your form. And then while you're filling out the little thing, you talk to them, you nail them in the corner and
Right.
explain to them, what you're trying to do, and
Well, and if you do a raffle too, you could even do a little questionnaire, when they do the raffle, do you own a business in Hubbardston? Are you interested in starting a business in Hubbardston? Do you have any questions? Whatever, you could add some of that stuff in there and it could give.
I would
Right.
kind of make it short and sweet though. You might lose people if you ask too many questions. It might just be like name, email, phone number optional.
well, the whole thing too is you got to remember a lot of people are coming from out of town. So it might even be a question of, if you don't live here, why, did you come just for this, kind of thing.
How'd you
Or
hear about us or something?
like to that effect, because you got to realize like some of these vendors are coming in. I mean, there's a lot of local from Hubbardston and surrounding towns, but there's also there's people from like New Hampshire and Connecticut that are coming to set up at this fair, because there's not a lot going on right now anyway, but B, because we finally have gotten traction that we're big enough that we do draw people, so yeah. There's somebody coming from all the way from North Adams, Weymouth, Dover, New Hampshire, they are coming from other places to set up. So
That's really good though. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yep.
Okay, so the town fair is on June 12th this year. That's going to be before our next meeting. So I'd like to see. I mean, I'll volunteer for sure at either position or whatever you want to call it. Can I get anybody else to volunteer?
Whitney, I think I'm gonna plan on going. I probably am more the type of person to like to walk around than just kind of stand there at the table. Only because I'm more of a people mixing and mingling. type.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else?
Yeah, you
I
can
can
put
man
me
the
in
table
for,
Go ahead, Peter. Go ahead, Peter.
you can put me in for, whatever. I'm not a walk around type of guy,
Okay.
because I don't really like people, so,
Ay, ay,
um,
ay.
you
Ay, ay,
can
ay.
put me in for the table. I think we should have some pens made with EDC on it. EDC equals Economic Development Committee.
You can do that. I'll look into that.
It would be nice if we could give something small away that talks that like that's thanking people for supporting small business, you
Right.
know, and bringing more awareness to the importance of it, because sometimes people just don't really think about it. So I think that when you thank them for doing it, you know, and you make them feel appreciated for doing it, it kind of can go a long way.
So let me just throw this out there, and this kind of goes along with not, I don't know if you'd be able to get anything right now, but you guys all heard of Small Business Saturday, right? Shop local, the day after Black Friday, you know.
Mm,
So American Express would do this thing. If you had like 11 businesses sign up in your town, would take American Express, they would pay for all kinds of advertising and bling and flyers and stuff to be made. I looked into it long ago with Michelle March. We were gonna try to do something, but we couldn't find 11 vendors in town at that point with such short notice, because it was like right before the Black Friday that year, to take the American Express. So we couldn't get it off the ground right that year. But that might be something to look into for future. But the whole thing is they give you a bunch of free bling, you know, shop
Right.
local and things like that you could always, some of it you might be able to get for things like this, to say
Right.
shop local and, you know, Hubbardston and things like that on it. So whether they still do this or not, I don't know. I would imagine we would, but who the hell knows, because COVID done wrecked everything.
It did.
That
yeah.
might be something to look into for free merch.
Okay. You know, I talked to Ryan about that, shop Saturday or shop local, a downtown dollars and that kind of thing. I talked to him about that during the pandemic as an idea for, just helping businesses. And I thought because, you could do it online, that would be helpful to them. And he had some reservations about it. I think I want to say that mostly it was the exchange of funds that concerned him, just because, people touching money and that kind of thing. I don't know if there were other issues that he had raised about not, wanting me to rethink that idea. And I'll speak to him again about that. I'm all for it. I think that that's a great idea. I think that any time of the year, I think we should do it twice a year, actually, to do downtown dollars. But I want to check with him and see what his reservation was about it. Other than what I remember, I specifically do remember him, being uncomfortable. Taryn, I was talking to you during that quite a bit. Do you recall some of his concerns? What part of it might have been?
Yeah, I think it was mostly just I think it was encouraging people to go in person into the stores, and, and all of the exchange of paper and exchange of money, and
Okay.
not knowing what was happening with the state at that point. And I
Okay.
think those were more of the,
Well, but the shop Small Business Saturday is promoted by American Express. So you're talking about something. American Express puts the bill.
Right.
Looked into it. American Express puts the bill for your town to have all the flyers and like the little buttons and whatever the hell else, little bling things that they were giving out. And they would help you get it all together, but you had to have a minimum amount of businesses that took American Express. That was the deal.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But you're talking about something different. I understand what you're talking about, but what I was referring to was American Express foots the bill, and that has nothing to do with exchanging dollar amounts or anything like that.
Okay.
yeah, that's just
So
American Express helping to promote those businesses, giving them some advertising dollars, giving the town some advertising dollars around
Right.
that event, as long as there's enough businesses in town that are accepting American Express.
Exactly.
Right.
Where they
And
went.
yeah, And I misunderstood because the downtown dollars is also known as Shopping Saturday. And so I thought that it was the same platform.
Yeah,
All right,
no,
well, we'll definitely look into that.
Yep.
Okay. Let me
Like-
make a,
buttons you can have.
yeah, exactly. Okay, good.
I mean, we've got a pretty good budget and we haven't really spent any money. I mean, why can't we throw a couple $100 and have some koozies made, some pens made and just pass them out at the fair?
Or
Well, I
stick
could
Vista-
certainly-
that says, where the hell is Hubbardston? You need a little sticker that says, where the hell is Hubbardston with the little logo?
Oh, I like that.
Why don't we
That's
get,
really smart.
why don't we get the stickers for the rear windows of vehicles?
Oh, I don't know about that. I think just one that you can wear, like when you go and vote and have them plastered all over the fair. Everybody gets a little sticker. No? On the back of
No, I
cars, I
like
don't know.
that color.
I wouldn't, I don't know if I would put one on my car. Sorry, but
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Sorry.
I like what Peter said though. I mean, obviously, we want people to know what EDC is. So, EDC equals Economic Development Committee, or it just says Economic Development Committee on a pen or on a sticker or on a,
Yeah.
whatever. And
Yeah, and just
can get it on a
capitalize the E,
magnet.
the D, and the C, right?
Yeah, we could do it on a magnet, we could do it on a chip clip, we could do it on all kinds of things. We'll think of
Yeah.
something between now and June 12th.
Yeah, I don't know if
And,
we can get a
I'll look at-
turnaround that quick, but I mean, I don't know any vendors that do that kind of work, so.
so Vista Print is usually pretty good. and they
Exactly.
Turnaround and their
Yeah.
prices are really reasonable.
Yep,
Really?
they are. And they've got a terrific
where-
selection of items to choose from, even ones that we haven't covered. I mean, they've got
Mhm.
hundreds of them. So yeah, I'll look at them, or you all can do the same thing. And I'll, send you a link and, we'll just email and pick out something that's, that we think, would work. And, I'll get some things ordered.
Yeah, I mean, even like a keychain, anything like
Sure.
that, with a ring on it, with
Okay.
a little rubber tag, like the dealers pass out or whatever, at car dealerships. Anything in that
Right.
idea.
So I'm
just
pulling
to-
it up.
Yeah,
And
good.
for pens for them, let's see. So, oh, well, they're kind of expensive, those ones. Let's see. Oh, okay. So like for 100 of them, it's $169
Wow,
for like a pretty basic Cambridge ballpoint pen.
that's a lot
Like
of
that's,
money.
I mean, for 100 of them, that's pretty good. It is a lot of money, but if you're going to be like sending them all, do you know what I mean? Let me see if you can get.
how many people
other.
usually come through Katie?
Everyone always asks me that, and because there's so many entry points, there's no way for me to like that. Sorry.
How many vendors are there?
Right now? Hold on, I'll count.
So the cheapest one on here, sorry, Katie, while you're counting, the cheapest one is 100, starting at $149 is the cheapest for 100. I don't know if you get more if it typically goes down, but let me see.
Sure, with a more, yeah, of course. Well, I mean, here, let's look at, they've got everything from t-shirts, business cards, postcards, roll labels, brochures, tote bags. We can look into, I know there's dozens and dozens more than pens, if the pens don't work. If they're, if the price point isn't affordable, let's say.
Yeah, that was just the first one that I had clicked on,
Yeah.
but then they have tons of stuff. And they also can give you like a logo as well.
I like
Excuse me.
that. I mean, they've got tumblers, they've got hand sanitizers, keychains, pens.
Hand sanitizer,
Now-
might be good. I wonder how much that is.
What is?
Like little miniature
The
sanitizers
hand
with
sanitizer is
EDC
a
on
good
it.
idea.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
And
clip
people
and go.
carry those around for a while.
yeah.
Disposable shopping, I'm sorry, reusable shopping bags. Those I think
Yeah.
can be relatively cheap, and that's promoting the shopping aspect of it too.
I
So
like that
sending-
idea.
Sending a
what?
message too.
Of what? Say it again, I'm sorry.
You know, the reusable shopping totes,
Yeah.
that, putting something on that, EDC support small business, shop local kind of thing. I don't know,
Sure.
you know.
Yep. Let's see, clothing and bags, tote bags, drawstring, cooler bags.
This here, I have promotional tote bag. So that one it starts at 50 for 110.
Really? That's 50 bags for 110? Are they
Yep.
made out of material, like a Demoulas bag for shopping? Is that what, like a
So
reusable bag like that?
yeah. So it is, let's see, lightweight, durable, non-woven, whatever that is, polypropylene.
Well,
Yeah,
that doesn't sound-
different sizes. I mean, you guys can all look at it too. It's right on Vistaprint.
Yeah.
But that's pretty reasonable. And I like that idea because then they could carry it around too. And like, cause
Sure.
all the other vendors kind of, if they are giving out stuff too. I love
Right,
that
they
when you
put
go
it
to
in
a
bag.
thing like that and somebody
Yeah.
gives you a badge.
The hand sanitizers are expensive. It's 10 of them for $34.99.
Oh, my God.
So they're expensive, and that's for, let me see if that's 1 ounce or 2 ounce.
That's a
For
lot.
1 ounce, yeah, 1 ounce is, that was for, oh no, nope. On the 1 ounce, you can get a minimum of 20 of them for $55.80.
That's a lot.
So yeah, they're not cheap. And then if you go to the 2 ounce, you can actually get 10, and they're $34.99.
Well,
So that's a
that
little
one.
bit, yeah, but you know what? Let's just look at that over the next couple of days. I'll
Yeah.
send out an email with some ideas, and y'all
Yeah.
do the same thing for sure.
Just the print, yep.
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
couple other sites too, you know, like for imprint or totally promotional, you know, some of those will do some of that other stuff a little bit cheaper even. You might be able to get like a tote bag down to like 75 cents, you know, a piece, instead of $2
Yeah,
a piece on
The only
on
problem's the turnaround time, because we're short on time here.
We are.
And Vistaprint would be quick. That's why I had said that.
Right.
Yep.
You might pay a little more, but you get it in a week.
Yeah, that's
But I-
true.
I think also Canva does that as well. I think that Canva has promotional items.
But we probably would want, because how many vendors are there, Katie?
Right now, just for straight up vendors, and I still have a stack that I haven't even touched, there's 50, over
Okay.
50.
So I mean,
That's-
even if we're just walking around and handing it out to vendors and we're not giving it to other people that are walking around, there's 50 right there. So I mean,
Right.
we probably got to shoot for something in the like 200 to 300 range, you know, of whatever items we're giving away at least, you know,
Hmm.
maybe even 500 if we have leftovers, we use it in the fall, you know, for the
Yeah, use it for
for the
whatever.
Right.
fall or whatever.
Okay.
I would shoot for something in like the 500 range, you know, ordering 500 of something.
How much are
Okay.
koozies? Do they have koozies on there? I mean, they must be fairly cheap. Everybody likes to drink a beer now and again.
I'm telling you, we need to just have Katie's face with a little bubble that says, "What the hell is EDC?" And then on the back of the koozie, it can say Economic Development Committee.
Yeah. So here's the, and this would be something for just locals though. I wouldn't put this fair, but you know how they do like the oil changes, the like go to the garage and they give you the thing that goes on your keychain, and they every time you go to get an oil change, they take it. You guys could always like that, encouraging people to shop local. Once you get it all punched by the local stores, you know, by shopping, you get punched. Once it's filled up, they win something of some sort that you guys could get as a promotion thing, trying to drive people into the local stores. You'd have to give them a specific, you know, puncher, so that way it's not like a standard circle punch. That way they don't, you know, like some weird shape. But I'm just saying, to try to drive people into our actual businesses. That could be something like maybe a Christmas time promotion, and then get a Christmas tree punch for everybody.
Right.
I almost wonder if there's anything out there to do it with the scannable app, you know, because it's really about technology. So if there's like a way that they could go into the stores and scan the app and then it tracks it that way.
Like
That
a
would
QR
probably-
code?
Yeah, like,
You
'cause
mean
you
like
can,
QR?
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be kind of whatever it is. It'd be kind of cool even at the field day if there was. I mean, we probably couldn't pull it off for this one, but maybe in the fall time, if there's something we could even do to say like, even if it's little town maps, maybe that we get made up of. Here's all the businesses in town. I know you're going to go over and visit Giacomo's, for example, and they've got the booth that's going on, but we'd encourage you to go stop into their brick and mortar shop. It's right up the street, and or go stop into XYZ, whatever other stores. Here's a little map. We give it out to everybody, so we're really pushing people not only to walk around at the fair, but if you got a little extra time, you want to drive around town after, go check out the brick and mortar shops.
Well,
Yeah.
we could do something like that with a QR code.
Because let me tell you,
I'm doing a QR code for the Lions Club event that I'm doing. And they're fabulous. They really are. I mean, you can literally, just like, put your phone out the window and, and take a picture of it. I like that. I like, getting it out that way. And then there's all kinds of landing pages with these QR codes. So you could put a lot of information in them.
well, because the whole thing is if we can get people into Hubbardston by a fair, that doesn't mean, and they, maybe they do have some food from Giacomo's or the diner or whatever that will be set up there. The whole thing
Right.
is they don't necessarily know that there's a brick and mortar store. So that's the point of trying to drive them there. And I can give you a perfect example of this. The Spring Fling at Plainview that my daughter was set up at, I was sitting in her booth and it was towards the end of the event. And this guy who was shopping comes up to our booth and he offers us a cookie. I was just like, no, I'm all set. Thanks. Like, I don't know who he is. He's just some dude. And he's like, you want a cookie? And I'm like, no, I'm good. And my daughter said the same thing. I'm all set. Thanks. And he started going on about this cookie. He was like, this is the effing cookie I've ever had in my life. And he was like, just full on all about this cookie. And he's like, I got it over there at the booth over there. I'm like, oh, Giacomo's. Yeah, they do. They do really good. And he's like, I can't believe I've never had a cookie this guy. You know what? You can get it whenever you want. All you gotta do is drive a couple miles down the road and go to the shop. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go out. I've never heard of this place. I'm gonna go there every week now and get these best effing cookies of my life. And he was on his tangent. But that's the whole thing, was he would have never had, or now he's gonna go to Giacomo's every week to get these cookies. That would have never happened if he hadn't stopped into that. And the same thing could happen again at the fair. And they could be talking about, the grilled cheeses or whatever, or this is the list I ever found that so-and-so made at this booth that they happen to be in. You know what I mean? So that's the whole thing. If we can try to drive them into these stores, realize there's an actual store down the street, you can get them whenever you'd like, there we go.
And how much better would that be? How good would all of the local Hubbardston businesses feel if we had a map, a QR code, a website, whatever, that like we're there helping to represent them and saying, hey, go check out any of these stores. These are Hubbardston based businesses. We're promoting on their behalf. They're going to stop over and, and whoever it is in Hubbardston, they're going to be like, oh, EDC, like, what do you guys do? Why are you helping to promote my business? Well, that's what we're all about, is helping to support our businesses here in Hubbardston. Like they're going to remember that, especially if we're helping to drive traffic to their brick and mortar shops.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's the whole thing, is like, even for whoever is walking around, for any of you guys at the fair, I can give you a little map where actual based businesses are set up. So that way, that's a Hubbardston based compared to somebody. I mean, you can still talk to the other ones to see why they came and how they're doing and whatever. But this one is specifically Hubbardston, so make sure you hit this table, kind of. So.
Could we put together a map of all of the Hubbardston businesses in time, you think? Like, does anybody have the ability to print something like that up? Because that would be a nice thing to hand out at the fair.
If somebody can design it, I've got a printer. I don't mind running 500 copies.
Because Because really it would just be what, taking the town and then knowing where, I mean, it doesn't have to be anything exact, but it could be something like, you're looking at, I mean, the town of Hubbardston's what, a triangle? It probably isn't that hard to, just kind
Little
of,
stars or something you're thinking, and then like,
yeah, like I
you could
could
probably even do it with like a
try to-
text box. I could attempt something. I don't know how. I don't know.
I
So
just don't know
attempt.
where all the businesses are.
Yeah, I don't either. I would need help with that.
I have the blank map that I use for the, did anybody see that actual physical map that I made that was at Mr. Mike's? That was all color coded, yeah. So I have blank copies of that has the streets and everything. And so basically you'd be putting on anything that's open to the public. So really, there's not that many that are open to the public. You'd have, your farms, and then a few things in the center. I mean, there are other businesses like, like Pierner's, the logging. I mean, they sell wood chips and stuff, but they're not necessarily open to the public. So like, where do you want to go?
Right.
Like, but Ladybug Farm, she's open to the public. You know what I mean? Plainview's open. Like,
Well, could we do on the actual map, like the ones that are open, and then at the bottom say other businesses in Hubbardston or something? I don't know.
well, there's a
That
lot of
would-
Hubbardston
And
that,
There's a lot, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
there's
But
a
even
lot.
if you just did the ones that were open to the public, you do a little, maybe even just with a highlighter, like a pink highlighter where they're located, number it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, whatever it ends
Oh,
up
and
being.
do like a key.
On the backside of it, you list, all of those businesses out,
That's brilliant. That's good.
That are open,
Yeah.
yeah, to the public,
Yeah, and
yeah.
We
I mean,
could
one of the,
give websites of ones that, don't actually have a store, but they have websites,
Sure.
because that would be nice for people to even know. There's ones I'm learning about that I didn't even know existed, like the duck one there that Katie had shared.
Doc, oh, you should go out there, Mr. Day. You'd be
I-
surprised. Property.
I had no idea. I think maybe I've seen him, maybe he used to sell at the flea markets and stuff probably, but like, that's quite an impressive business he has.
Yeah, you have no idea what's out there. Let me tell you, some of the stuff that's out in these woods, I floored on some of the stuff. I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think
Right.
there's so many businesses, I think it would be tough to put them all on, and then you'd hate to miss one of them, or miss a couple of them. It's almost better, do we just promote, those that are open to the public for now, and then we can always, in the maybe the fall one, we put something out and saying we want to help promote, all businesses, come this fall, and we
Yeah,
create
that's,
a different
yeah.
flyer or something.
I like that idea because I think that, one of our goals was, to get more and more of the home businesses to kind of, come out from the woodwork, so to speak. And I think that if they saw this, this effort being made to promote them, that might, make them inclined to register and that kind of thing. As because so many of them aren't. And it's not a question of us wanting to get that, $40 or whatever fee. That's, we just really want to know about them so that we can promote them. So I think that anything that we can do, even if they're not included in the first go round, if they could see that, hey, I'd like to be included on that list next time, it just might, it might, get them to, come forward, whatever you want to call it. Sounds like they're, doing something covert. That's not what I'm trying to say, but I think that would be great. Get them registered. That's something that we've been trying to do since the very beginning. And to let them know that, the purpose is, solely for being able to promote them and advertise them. But if we don't know about them, we can't do that for them. So this is good move in that direction as well. Katie, I know that, and I don't mean to, stick your daughter with any extra work, but I know she did that really great map of the, outdoor spaces to go to and that kind of thing. Do you think that she might be able to think of some kind of URL or something like that for the businesses?
I have no idea.
You want me to ask her or you want to?
Well, I'm just saying she works a 40+ hour week. at,
Okay. All
She
right.
doesn't live here anymore, so I mean, I could ask her, but she lives in Fitchburg now, so I don't know.
Okay, fair
I don't-
enough.
That's a step
Sorry.
up.
That's all right. She just did such a great job on that other one. It really was just terrific. So yeah. Okay, maybe she'll help train whoever's gonna do that. But I like that idea very much.
Did-
Yeah.
Can you find out what time they're open till, please?
Going back to manning the table, can we do like time slots or something? Because I'm not sure if I can be there the full 9 to 2.
Sure. You
But
just
I'm
let me
more than
know when you
Like set up in the beginning, and then if we could do like a time slot.
can. Sure.
Sorry,
Let
motorcycle.
me know what
never mind.
works.
Sorry.
Let me know what works for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And I think Peter was trying to say something as Monet was talking.
Oh,
No, I'm
sorry.
just having all kinds of technical difficulties here.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. All right. So now I am going to allow Denise to take the floor and talk about her idea for using social media to grow your business via the Facebook page. And here you go. Are you ready, Denise?
Yes, sorry, I lost my screen and I couldn't unmute myself. Okay, so quickly, I'm just gonna share with everybody the engagement that we've had on the EDC website for, let's see, the last 28 days. That's when I started to just really ramp it up. And thank you to Katie, who's just kind of helped me along the way. You know, we've just messaged about certain things, and I've thrown some ideas by her, and she's just kind of helped me kind of figure out what to post and everything. So we've reached 3,350 people in that period of time. So that's engagement that's up 14,000%. Post engagements 2,987, so that's up 298,000%. And our page likes are up 814%. So we really have had good engagement. And even though you can't judge the engagement by just the comments or the likes that you see, we can only see it on the back end of the insights. And the Where Am I Wednesdays, just the last 2 Wednesdays, tremendous amount of actual engagement from people just clicking on the picture. So just because everyone's not liking it or joining in and commenting, it had about 350 hits both days. So it's great to know that people are at least curious, and then more and more people are getting the page showing up in their feed. So more people are liking the page. So I think it's definitely doing what I wanted to do as far as just getting the engagement. And my idea really is just so that we can try to encourage the businesses to do more with social media, because I want to share the businesses posts, but most of them, first of all, they post and ghost. So that, some of them, they'll throw a post up like from 6 months ago and nothing else since. And then there's ones that are always posting stuff, and I'm trying not to always include those people, but those are the people that are giving content on what to always share. So I'd like to really try to encourage all the businesses to use social media a lot more. And my idea would really be maybe in the fall for us to have almost like a workshop where we're inviting, the local small businesses to attend this workshop. We're getting, having guest speakers come that are using social media really well. There's a lot of businesses that are using it really well. So we would have them kind of be the guest speakers, and then just give the businesses tips on, how to use it. Sorry, guys, I'm on the porch and my neighbors just let their dogs out.
Okay.
So just have them use it just to help grow their business. And, I would be willing to share tips with them during that workshop, and also do the workshop as a networking event so that the businesses are networking with each other. I don't think the town has done anything like that in a while. I know when I was working at Water Wheel uptown, years and years and years ago, the town, we used to have business networking events. We used to meet up at the Rod and Gun Club. And it's just a really nice way for the businesses to engage with each other, because then they're also supporting and promoting each other. So
Right.
that's that. I'm gonna stop talking since the dogs are out.
Okay. Well, we did that networking, if you will, on our first meet and greet. And that, there wasn't a great attendance, but there's a lot of good information shared. And then in follow-up tours of some of the businesses, I remember one business specifically saying, how about, opening that networking, or meet and greet to residents as well as businesses. And we thought that would be something that we would do in the future. We just, COVID hit, and then the next meet and greet we decided to do was a Q&A because that was just necessary at that point, But I agree. I think so, whether you want to call them networking meetings or networking gatherings or meet and greets, yeah, I'm on the same page with that. I think that's, we've been working towards that, and I think we need to continue that. I think it's important. So does anyone have any questions for Denise and this, you want to call it a seminar? What would you call it?
I think just like a workshop.
A workshop. Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions about that? That would be not a one-time, not a one and done, but it would not be an ongoing. It would be something that, would be scheduled and everybody would attend it once, right? And depending on how it went, we could do it more than one time a year if you feel up to it.
Oh yeah, because you don't want to have it too long because it gets boring. But if you start with just some simple tools with social
Right.
media, and then I'm still even learning. I'd like to get much better at Instagram, so it's like if I can find somebody who would teach how to use Instagram better for the businesses, then I'd want to be an attendee to that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think they're great ideas, and I just want to say great job on what you've done with the Facebook page too. It's exciting.
I know.
You're doing so much with that. I appreciate it.
Thanks. I'm having fun, but it's definitely time consuming. As
It
Katie
is.
would know.
Hmm.
It's all about
Okay.
schedule. I run like 5 or 6 pages, so it's all about scheduling. You'd be surprised how once you get it to go and you understand how to schedule things, you just sit down. Like I have like a couple of them. I just schedule out a good month or so in advance, and then that way I'm sitting there for like a half an hour. Then I don't have to think about it for the next month.
Right.
So
Right. Okay, great. All right, 2 things I want to add. Anybody have any more comments or questions about Denise's program? No. Okay. All right. So 2 things that I want to add is everybody, with the exception of Denise, I think that their term expires this June 2021 for their committee stewardship, if you will. So according to Lori, if I understood her correctly, she's going to send down an email to everybody, and you simply say yes to it, so to speak, and then it's kind of a done deal. So just expect that. If you have any questions about it, you can reach out to me or to Lori, but it's a simple, just kind of go ahead if you want to extend your term or renew it, whatever the verbiage is, then it'll be I guess approved or done. Okay, so just look out for that from, I believe it comes from Lori. The other thing is, Denise, I wanted to mention to you, I didn't get a response from you regarding Keith and the DM that went between you guys. To avoid that kind of overlapping, if you will, okay, or miscommunication, Taryn is going to walk me through getting my page on Facebook, and I'll go in as an admin as well, okay, so I can deal with that if you don't want to, or we can deal with it together. And then I think also it might be a good idea I don't know if it's necessary, but I'm going to ask Lori, our town clerk, if she wants to be an admin as well. Not for her to do any work towards the page, but simply for transparency. So that, because, you know, in my opinion, our email address doesn't belong to me, it belongs to the town. It, you know, same thing, I think, with our Facebook page. So I'm going to ask Lori about that, and if she feels that that's necessary or would be a good idea, I'm going to invite her to get on as well, just for transparency. And I think that if it's all right, Denise, if you know how to do it, or it's not too late, if we can archive any of the DMs, I'd like to do that in case we're ever asked for any of that.
I think they'll stay in it, Whitney, on the
Okay.
Facebook page, the messages, because that business page is set up as, you know, it's the Hubbardston EDC, and then it's just a matter of them changing the admins, but
Okay.
those messages will stay in there. And I did message Keith. Sorry, I forgot to tell you that. And I did
It's
let him
okay.
know. I told him I just misunderstood my directions, and I went and scheduled it, and I scheduled it too soon. So I did ask him just to send an email to the Hubbardston EDC to set up the appointment. And he said he would reach out, but if you could schedule them through Facebook, it would be neat, because there's a calendar in that Facebook. So it will also put it on their calendar, and then you can set it up with a reminder too. So it's just a tool to, you know, use the calendar through that if you wanted to set them up that way.
Okay, and then let's put them on for the following meeting, the one after the whatever date we said. I think it was the 17th that we agreed on. 17th was the first one, so they'll go on the second round, the next ones after that, if he contacts you before me. Okay. All right, good. All right. Also, regarding the Quabbin Country website, which, you know, was the domain was expired, and so there were 2 sites on our town website that when you clicked, it linked you to a page that said not available. You know, the website's been shut down, or whatever the phrase was. I spoke with Erin, and she's going to replace the video of the Q&A special meeting as that link to those 2 pages. And I think that that's something that maybe should just be temporary. So we should also think about things to include on those links in the future, whether they come from Facebook or things that, you know, projects that we're working on. And yeah, so I don't know, Denise, if that's something that maybe you want to work on as well, or if it's too much, that's fine. But I would like everyone to think about, you know, things that might be suitable to include when they go into the town website and they hit the EDC. We've got something, you know, that would, you know, be appealing to people and make them want to read more.
That business map, if you build it, that would definitely put on there.
Right. Right. That would be a good idea. I'd also like I'd also like at least one of the links, let's say, to talk a little bit about what we're doing, what some of our projects are, what we're in, you know, in the throes of. The map, I think, is a great idea. And again, there are
That you put on the main page. That wouldn't be a link. That would be the EDC itself.
Well, I'm talking about the link when you go to the town administrator page, and on the navigation bar on the left-hand side, it says EDC. When you hit that button, it says whatever that says. Yeah, here I am. Okay.
All right. So what are you going under, town administrator?
So go to the town administrator page, and on the left-hand side.
No, I'm
You
on a
see-
phone. That's what you're looking at. It's got to be a different
Okay.
link.
Okay, well, on the town administrator page, there's an economic development link. When you hit that button,
Yep.
it says this site can't be reached.
Okay. So
Okay.
why just go back to your EDC tab?
Yeah,
So that way it's, because that's where it should go. You have a whole tab under boards and committees.
right. But for whatever reason, Ryan set it up so that originally this went to the Quabbin Country website. It didn't go back to the EDC page.
I know,
It
but
went,
why can't it now?
well, we could do that, but we could also fill the page with something else.
But then, okay, hear me out. Let's go down this
Okay.
rabbit hole. So if you redirect it to your EDC page, right now, all it has on there is the mission of the EDC, and member. You can fill this with more content. You can have all kinds of stuff on there. That, like has, like the links like I have on the bottom of my special events. I have the light fight and the town fair and the dinghy dash and stuff, and it has videos and it has information on who won last year and whatever. So you can do that with your text. So if you had that original under where you found it under the town administrator link to
Sure.
your, you can have your tab have all the content. So why would you want it to only go to one thing under EDC, just a question answer, when you can have everything on your tab? You just have to fill it with content.
Well, because we've got 3 tabs, so I thought we might be able to fill some of the tabs with different things. Just like when you go to the Visit Hubbardston page on the front page and you go to local businesses, it says the same thing, this site can't be reached. I don't know that,
Have it all
Yeah.
go back to EDC and have the EDC have all the content with the
okay, well,
local
we'll just, okay,
and the question and answer and the map and this and that and everything else. Fill your tab with content and have it all redirect. It's the same thing when they're trying to go to find something for special events. It all comes back to my special events page and all the information is there.
Okay.
That's my, funnel it to one place. Don't have little tidbits here, there, and everywhere where you have to go seek out the information. Have it all in one damn spot and funnel it all from 8 different places to the one spot.
Yeah, I think that makes sense too. Just build out the EDC page more, so there's more information there when people land. That seems to make sense to me.
Anybody else? All right. There we go.
I mean, you can have small business guide, have maps, you can have videos, you can have, all kinds of content on there.
We should,
With all-
we should also
kinds-
put like the sponsorship for the signs on there. That
Yep.
would be a good thing to put on. And then when we go
Okay.
around and talk to people about it, if they want further information, like later on, that they can always reference back to that. That's something we could tell people.
Yeah, you can have the form download, able to be downloaded right there from there. You can
Yeah.
have all content on there. You can have multiple tabs underneath your main tab.
Understood. My thought was also, if someone's looking at the website and they're coming to town to visit and they get into a link and it says local businesses, and then it just refers them to another page. Sometimes people just like to see, I want to hit the local businesses and see what they are and not have to go to another page and another page. Sometimes they like that. So I thought having 3 options on the town website for people to look at, it might just, be a way of condensing it or giving a shortcut to, to those particular pages. I understand that the EDC page itself, needs to be built up and, I thought, something a little bit more right at your fingertips might be more suitable.
Thinking of that, when you, let me go back to that main page. So when you go to the main page and you hit visit Hubbardston, and then you have
Yeah.
outdoor recreation, the monuments and historical sites, and you have the local businesses. And
It
that's
goes to
where,
that,
yeah, that's where that space is dead.
correct.
Yeah, see, I would have, that's where I'd put like the map and stuff like that, but where on the town administrator's page, where it says
Sure.
the, the economic development, it should go right back to yours.
All right, I could go with that. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's a good compromise.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, shop local, and
Yeah,
I would even,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, local businesses to maybe even shop local and start having like the business, like a map with links to each business and stuff like that somehow, but
Sure,
that'll be
With all the
lengthy.
different websites on there for the different businesses, that would be
absolutely.
really
I mean,
good.
yeah, just build up that
Websites
page for
and
that.
Facebook pages.
What's that?
Point to their websites and Facebook pages.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. So
Or-
again, it was just, to me, it was just a thought that, people might prefer, hey, here's the information right at my fingertips. I don't have to go through the entire, back and forth. So yeah, but if we do it on that page and do the one on that way, do that page that way, and then do the page on the town administrator, the navigation page there. Happy to redirect that to our page, to the EDC page. That's good.
I would still say the EDC to be bulked out
Yeah,
and with more than just the mission, because
of course.
yeah, your small business guide that you're working on and all this work that you're doing and like the sign and welcome to Hubbardston and
Yeah.
all that should be dumped on there. I mean, it could.
I know, and that's why we're desperate for a town coordinator / intern. I mean, a EDC coordinator / intern. That was part of the responsibility, was to do that particular page. That was so what Susan was working on with Ryan. So yeah, we definitely need to, keep on trying to find someone to fill that for us. So we'll keep that in mind as well. In the meanwhile, I'll have to do it.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. If you have one person
Duh.
get the login, because I fixed my own tab on special events. Doesn't take very long, but mine's already built up. You know what I mean? But realistically, it's not that. I mean, and I do it for my iPad. It's not like rocket
Right.
science. Pretty
Right.
easy.
Yeah, but like if
Yeah.
Whitney or Denise or myself or one of us was able to get the login to just do it ourselves, it would certainly be easier than having to go through somebody else to make any
Yeah.
changes or get it updated, right?
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'll look into that. I'll ask for that information, and I'm happy to update it at least for now until we find someone to fit that
Yeah.
internship.
Yeah, because if I get stuck on like can't remember how to do something or I can't figure out how to do it, I just go sit with my iPad and plop myself next to Lori. All right, Lori, help me out.
Yeah.
Help me.
There you go.
So and she'll be like, "Oh, you want this and this?" I'm like, "Okay, I'm good now." So, but yeah, I mean, they're always there to help. But as long they can point you in the right direction, but then I just go do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Last on the agenda. Any comments or anything? Questions about anything regarding? Nope. All right. All right. Any community concerns? No. Okay. There we go. Well, let's ask for someone to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion. Look like Peter seconded.
Okay. Touche. Okay. 8:07. Thank you all very much. Thank you very, very much.